Everyone, it's Linda G, and I'm here today with Jon Binnie, and he's in Scotland, and it's 11 o'clock at night. Graciously, we were going to do earlier today, but I had an appointment change, and he said, sure, we can do it at 3, and then I realized, oh wait, 3 is 11, but he's cool. Look, he looks refreshed. So
Thank you.
now, those of you who don't know Jon, he's going to re-intro himself.
Wonderful. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for having me on again. Um, Hi, I'm Jon Binnie. You can tell because it's on my hoodie. And yeah, I live here in Scotland. I am married with two wonderful little kids, and well, they're almost grown up, and a little black and white Papillon called Patch. And my day job now, um, since May 31st, 2024, is professional psychic spiritual mentor. And I offer a whole wide range of services for people around the world, including my main, most popular service is my quantum psychic healing. So connecting with people's spirit guides, helping work through chakra healing. Lots of people come to me with a whole wide range of physical conditions also to see if my services can help. And I talk with their higher selves, their spirit guides, the highest aspects of themselves to help guide through that journey. And then also often people ask me about their life purpose. Why did their soul choose to come to Earth?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Why? Tell me, someone tell me
I
why.
also wonder that myself.
And and also past life healing, future lives, and something new. And I'd love to share more about this service today is more about predictions as well. So helping with messages from people's Akashic records, from their souls. And increasingly, I do a lot of channeling now with Gaia, and so the spirit of Earth, and also I've been doing a lot of work with trees. So I've been connecting at least once a week now since we last met, Linda, connecting with trees and bringing in messages for these can be random messages that people put on my website, and I just hold up my phone and ask the tree, or they can be messages for humanity. Which is one of the themes that I was working with some 1,000-year-old trees today. So, yeah, really excited to both come back and say hello and also catch us up on what's going on in the world. So thank you, Linda.
Sure, thank you.
Where would you like me to start?
Oh God, I can't. Let's talk about the hits you bit, the prediction hits.
Wonderful, yeah. I would say so. The If I start with today, I think this is a really good kind of like a very big high level picture starting point, some context for us. So I don't know if you've ever tried this, but I years ago I started this thing whenever I was going on a woodland walk or in nature, I would just walk up to a tree, put my hand on it, and ask it a question. I'd often just ask it how old it was. And little did I know, the way the universe works is that I was really learning, and I would often compete with my son, who's also very psychic, and I would say, what number did you get? Like, how old is the tree? And we'd often get quite similar numbers. And then you never really knew if the tree was telling you the same number or not, but it was always a lot of fun. And so more and more, I started asking broader and broader questions. 2 years ago, to almost the day, so I think it's actually 2 years to tomorrow, I was on a mindfulness meditation teacher training course because I'd done years of meditation since my awakening in 2017, and that had really helped me do two things. One was come out as psychic, come out the psychic closet. So in the training, I kept crying in front of the class, saying, "I'm psychic, I'm psychic," and they're like, "It's okay, Jon. It's okay to be psychic. It's safe now. You're not going to be hunted out
Yeah,
and burned at the stake." And so that was good. It also helped me leave Amazon. So I was previously a senior manager in software at Amazon. And something very important happened in that training that looking back, I wasn't really sure the importance of it, but it's at a place called just outside of Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. So here on the east coast of Scotland, we have some 1,000-year-old trees. And I didn't even know they were here. They're in Dalkeith Country Park, just to the south of the city. So in that training, I went for a walk, and it was a silent meditation practice. So you weren't meant to talk, but I went to talk to some trees, and I asked the trees for messages for humanity. This was 2 years ago. The message was very simple, and it's kind of in two parts. The first part's a bit depressing just to prepare you, and the second part's much more exciting. So the first answer I got from this beautiful big oak tree, dating it's just almost touching 1,000 years old now. It said, John, the human race are like ants. We're like busy ants. And we're like always so busy, 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 like running around, running around. And they said, and you know that it's not just busy doing stuff. The human race is still very busy destroying the planet. And I was like, oh, and I was like, it's like, oh no.
I
And
believe it.
yeah, it's not always the message you want to receive in the moment. And so I paused for a moment, and then this oak tree says to me, but we feel, because not just one of them that's 1,000 years old, there's several of them. I said, we feel there's a change, there's hope. And it's like, go on, what is
Yeah.
it? And it said, it's a new spring. It's a spring of humanity. And it's you people that are opening your hearts. It's you, John, and people like you around the world that are opening your hearts. And it was like end of message. And I was like, it's like, oh, that's so fabulous. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me for the last 2 years, as I felt that, well, it's so important, right, that we all slow down, just stop. This is a big lesson in my life, is and since you've known me for almost a year, Linda, I've just been so busy, always creating, always doing, so many of us
But
are on
you
our
have
phones.
joy in what you're doing now, considering what you were doing in Amazon.
Yes. A lot more joy, bit busy joy.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question about, what's coming up for us, I was back there today. So I spent an hour and 30 minutes with these trees. And what I've been doing is learning a practice of asking permission of the forest and the earth elementals of the land there, connecting with the trees. And so I now ask like series of questions. And to be honest, it feels that I'm really just connecting with the forest, not just one tree at a time. It's not like just asking the opinion of one plant. And I also feel that all trees are connected around the earth. They interconnect with the ley lines of the planet, the energy grid of the whole world. And today's message was really curious. It's an incremental message. So I kept hearing parts, and it was expanding. And I guess without giving you like the whole, I think there was about 5 or 6 trees that I spoke to, the kind of consolidated version of this answer of what's coming up for us is, first of all, my first question was, what's going to happen to us in the next 1,000 years? Because
Okay.
I was thinking, I bet no one's going to make a YouTube video about that, right? Because who's going to wait around to find out the right answer? And the answer was really startling to me. The first message is that humanity is returning to ourselves. So we're returning back to our hearts.
Oh,
And
good.
and as we return back to our hearts, we return back to our Mother Earth. And in the detail of it, the trees were explaining how they grow, how their seeds grow under the earth. And they said to me, not, I'm getting tingles, not all things that are born on earth grow above the earth, that actually they grow under the earth, they grow within the earth first. And they weren't, I thought they were talking about seeds and saying, no, 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 it's that golden light in your heart. That's where you grow from. That's where us humans grow from. And we're still these children of earth. And so when we come back to our hearts, we also come back to the womb, to Mother Earth. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. That feels so wholesome. That's wonderful. And they said, now they also use this word, which is, I'm not sure it's really in the English dictionary. They said humanity will de-industrialize. And I said, what does de-industrialize mean? And they said, you will no longer feel so compelled to be so busy all the time. Like, why is busy being good? Why is busyness being good? Why is busy being an ant running around just being that's is that really productive? Is it what you really want? One of the trees showed me what it was like near when they were born over 900 years ago. It enveloped me with this big aura around me. So it really brought me back in a portal about 900 years prior. And
Yeah.
it was shocking. It was shocking in that the feeling, everything felt so calm and loving. It felt like the that there was no rush for anything. Yes, there was work to do, but the feeling of abundance, there was no the pressure of things like money, paying bills, the constant kind of frazzled like states that we feel ourselves drawn into just wasn't there.
Was there
And
humans?
900 years ago, yes. And in 1,000 years, yes. Also, like the rapture didn't get us right, or maybe it did get some of us, but we're still here.
Right.
Um, and this 1,000 year human race is much more devolved. So we're much more back to communities, tribes, clans, and less, industrialization at scale. And so less just being busy for the sake of it, or as we know, being busy to often pay for our boss's wage, our CEO's wage, our politician, our world leaders' salaries. Like, why do we have to pay for them?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
should get their own jobs. um, so yeah, I feel that really helped me get some further context about where is all this going. Sometimes I feel so much of this is just about asking the right questions. And that's why I really love getting people to ask me questions on my website now. And I always post a link in my videos so that they can just bombard me with questions and I randomly pick them. Because there's something, and a bit like the question you asked for me, Linda, there's always there's something golden about the question itself that leads us to even more expansive answers than perhaps
Right.
certainly I could come up with.
Did the trees tell you when the Epstein files will get released?
Um,
I'm
well,
I'm just kidding. I don't.
no, it's really funny. I have been doing series of prediction videos, and the Epstein files has come up quite a few times.
Oh, okay. I
And
didn't know that.
and the what was really shocking to me, so this is going into about August time. I was doing a series of videos, I call it my prediction videos. And in those times, the Epstein files, first of all, I don't think it's a surprise to your audience that they are real.
Yes,
The other the aspect of it is, and maybe this also isn't a surprise, the feeling of it is that they're the tip of the iceberg, and that it is ugly, right? It is a deep, dark truth beneath the surface of our kind of news, our consciousness, and our conscious awareness, and also physically, it relates to a lot of abuse that exists that's still going on to this day in buildings and bases beneath the earth. And that really shook me. I've done several videos
'cause
crying.
it sounds like you didn't expect that answer.
No, I didn't expect that. It's not an answer I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants that. Um, and this also led me to work more with Mother Gaia because Mother Gaia is going through so many changes, right? It feels every day there's a new Earth event, whether it's weather, earthquakes, tremors, and even predictions of some things coming up for us here in Europe. In fact, not that far from where I live. Events around such as the 26th of November, with just within a 500-mile range west of the UK and Ireland, um, new tremor activity that because my geology is terrible, right? And when I first get these answers, I'm like, is there something there? I don't really know. Has that ever happened before? And Guy was explaining that what's happening across the earth at this time is that all that anger and rage, where do you think that we generate? Where
I
do you think it
know.
it goes down, right? We're pushing it down into the earth. And so she wants to help release it. It's a great purge. And so she's saying she's working a lot with the sun and also with a lot of her team. She calls them like her team of earth elementals. So the beings of the land, the air, the water, fire, and electricity. And so when she's working with her team, she will release when she needs to this anger. And I'd call rage for me, rage is kind of anger in motion. It's like that flamey lava, the magma rising to the surface. It needs to be released from the earth because she's shaking off all these lower vibrations that have been suppressed for so long.
Yeah.
Um, and so it really feels that when we touch on some of these subjects, like these hidden truths, such as the kind of Epstein files, which you could describe as kind of partly hidden, is that they will be revealed. She was saying by spring next year, like this whole world will have changed. And it's not, that's one of the things, right? That seems like the kind of long tail of all these big events
So
accumulated.
is it a shaker that happens there or what is it?
Whereabouts? Just
Near
in the Atlantic.
Ireland and stuff.
Yeah, it's an earth tremor. I'm sure it's around, let me just double check because I did connect with, I created a safe space at the start and connected with Gaia. Yeah, she's saying um six magnitude, which is quite, it's really high for where we live. Um, but it's not for many other places, right? So yeah, this is a releasing of energy. It's connected to London. It's connected to a lot of the human trafficking um, that's being hidden in London right now, and and including under the ground.
So
You
it
know how,
doesn't mean like a physical shake. It could be a revealing.
yeah, well, it is a physical shake, but it's also to physically reveal more that's happening.
Wow, this is exciting.
Yeah, and the one of the things we struggle with still as a human race is we're kind of asking the wrong people for the news, right? um and so and the truth, like really, just like you and I are having a conversation, asking each other about our truths is so powerful, and connecting with the earth and with the higher aspects of itself, this is super powerful.
Yeah.
So some of this is, it's shocking, startling news for people. However, if you live in the UK, you're maybe used to the concepts of London, for example, being a kind of financial Vegas of Europe, right? It's just like, just give us your money. That's what it's like in London. And it's perhaps not surprising that some of the most valuable commodities in the earth include humans, include us, they include other humans. And this kind of vampiric enslavement that goes on with humans through human trafficking. And I'm grateful to not have been exposed to that directly. I do have some clients that have been exposed to it, not in our side of the planet, it's not on your and I side of the planet, but it those experiences really, you know, shake you upright as another human. You're thinking, how can humans do this to each other? But unfortunately, this enslavement practice, we've done this to each other uh, for many thousands of years. But what's different now is that we're hiding it better. We're hiding it as a human race beneath the surface. And so a lot of these this activity with tremors, with volcanoes, with earthquakes and weather events, they're designed by Gaia and her team of elementals to help shake up the ground. And in some cases, targeting buildings and underground structures. So being very, very focused to the extent that our governments and our militaries would think, surely that's a weapon, surely because it's intelligent.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I feel that's another big thing I've been getting my head around is that our planet is intelligent, right? That's another good reason to not constantly abuse our planet is that
Yeah.
she's a living, breathing being.
That's so interesting. I just was teasing you about the Epstein, and then you had all this information.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. I've had some dream experiences. I know I always love it when you share your dreams, and I've been doing more work in dream time. Just very simply, just before I go to sleep, place my hand on my heart. We can all do this, right? And say, show me, I often just say spirit guides, show me, like recently I asked them to show me the Three-Eye Atlas interstellar object. And so I had this very lucid dream that night of visiting it and seeing the beings on there and including
I mean, the ones
humans.
that are out there now that they're trying to act like they don't know what it is.
That's right. Yeah, what is it? Is it a rock? Is it a ship? Um, it's a ship. And yeah, it
They
was
coming to visit or just crossing the plains?
so the a bit of both. I was shown that first of all, the perception, and this is a really fascinating aspect of truth and reality, right? Is that some people will only experience it as a rock. So if you're kind of in like a fear state and a low vibration state, you'll experience the kind of the heavier, denser version of this object. If you're more open-hearted, maybe you do a little bit of your own meditation work, or you follow your joy each day, or you just don't pay attention to the mainstream media all the time, um, that you'll have a higher vibration, a happier heart. And those that do will experience the higher aspects of it. So the higher vibration versions of Three-Eye Atlas are a ship, and it's an ancient ship. It's been traveling through the universe for quite some time, and its role is like it reminds me a bit of like Noah's Ark. It's like, but it's huge. Um, like I know they're guessing, the scientists are trying to guess its size. And it's really interesting. I remember someone said, "Oh, it's around 5 times the size of the moon." 5 times the size of the moon is the exact way I described a ship and that I saw physically in in about 2020 before the lockdowns that I saw in the skies here. So that always blows my mind. But back to Three-Eye Atlas, when I when I visited it, I was shown that it's kind of the ship itself is kind of at its end of life. You know how the at a Viking burial they would put the body onto a ship, set it on fire, and release it. So it was kind of like it's kind of just been released to wander the universe.
Oh,
It is
there's no ETs living in it?
there are, but it's no longer kind of the spearhead of a of any one galactic race. But you can, as far as I can tell, when I visited in Dreamtime, is that quite a few different races are there. Lyrans, Mantis, Arcturians, not in huge numbers, and some humans, which some of us found the most shocking. Is like, what are the humans doing there? Who are they? Like, are they from Scotland? And
Yeah.
and what was really fascinating is that they're there to in part they're kind of like um a little bit like along for the ride. They're also observing what's happening on Earth as they pass by. And the main reason why Three Atlas is coming in to our atmosphere and coming so close to Earth is its purpose is to trigger awakenings. So many, I feel many of us, our souls choose when to awaken. And it's not a date, right? I don't go like my soul didn't say November 17, 2017. It was more when I was ready of a certain energy and I did a certain practice. And that just happens to fall on a date. And it's the same with Triatlas. However, the date that kept being shown is December 21st to look out for this much more mass awakenings. So people, and if you're new to the concept of awakenings, whoever's watching this video,
You're
um,
saying
oh
it.
wow, I would describe it simply as it's all unique. It's unique for each of us, and that experience is at some point your heart stops being in fear. It stops being squeezed closed, and you open up like a rose petal to or a sunflower to the sun, and it changes everything in your life. When your heart opens, you just feel like, why am I doing this thing? Why was I Jon Binnie working at Amazon for 8 years? Why did I have such a big house that had a huge mortgage and 2 rooms I never used? Like suddenly your reality you start to question because just like we do in our deathbeds, we ask ourselves, what's really important in my
What,
life?
why did
I
I?
really care about. So that's a big purpose for the
And
3
will they, do you just connect to the realm or do they actually kind of talk to those who are wide open?
Um, those on 3 Atlas.
Yeah. Oh, they're passing by. Listen, are they on a death march? Are they getting ready to be destroyed?
No, it feels like they're very much I describe it as spectators aboard a ship which is intended to cause these like to trigger
Oh, okay.
awakening.
Because you said it was an old ship, so I thought maybe like the Viking ship, it was going out and they'll set it on fire.
It's more that it's just passing through and it'll just keep going through and passes by. So almost like a ship wandering, just left to sail the oceans of the universe. Um, there is a lot of extraterrestrial interest in Earth right now. It
Oh,
is,
let me tell you, I can feel it, I can taste it, I can smell it. They are everywhere. And there's a lot of inbred. There's a lot of ETs that are living here that look human form.
yes, that's right. I love the way you were looking at me, Linda. Um,
But I am just so happy to know because this could be why all the psychics and readers keep thinking this awakening is going to happen because, and isn't that something that would be the ETs that would come in and help us with the awakening? But that one time I talked to the ET, he was very kind and he said, we're just going to make sure you don't destroy this earth because it affects all planets.
that's right. Yeah.
So you will not be allowed to destroy like nuclear,
Yeah.
but they have no right to change man's will.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Some of my recent experiences in the last 2 months with so all of my guides are extraterrestrial except for one. Her name's Maya, and that's only in this lifetime. Previously, she was from Andromeda, and I have a mantis guide. So like a she's tall.
Yeah.
She's like a praying mantis. Her name's Marita, and she says that what's happening on Earth, the reason why they our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters will intervene is because we, you and I, are asking for help, and
Yes.
and enough of us have to ask. Like we,
Yes.
they'll never intervene. Just like our spirit guides won't just jump in and save you. You have to ask for help. So that's a huge start. The other reason that they're so fascinated with Earth right now. And it reminds me, remember we used to think that Earth was the center of the universe, which I love as a concept. Like, it's me, I'm the center of the universe. Is we're not the center, but there's something very magical about Earth, which is love it or hate it. We have this huge, broad frequency range. We have a lot of very, low vibration, deep, dark, evil people, all the way up to the highest vibration light, right? So and we're everything in between. We're all on this big spectrum.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's really rare in the universe. Most planets will it I love this, will eject people that abuse it, right? They'll just
Yes.
go, "You're out of here." Like you
Yeah.
don't get to do that to me. I'm a soul, I'm a planet. No. And Mother Gaia is saying, actually, I'll hold you all a bit like you know, a, a, a dysfunctional family, right? Hold us all together for Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner for so long, and then eventually we'll let go. And this is when we talk about things like the shift, when she splits more between different dimensions, so these lower third dimensions and higher, happier, heaven-like fifth dimensions. And yeah, there's that feeling, those sometimes where there's this all this war mongering, right? That we're constantly
Oh,
seeing. It's
God.
escalating
Trump,
right now.
he
I
said
was,
he was going to take Canada and Greenland.
uh,
Did they even talk about Trump or is it just like, yeah, whatever?
yes. And I was just gonna, I'll come on to him in a second. I was just gonna say about the threat of war. This is all a continued program of fear. Keep their hearts small.
Yes.
Keep us believing that we're little ants. We're not, right? We're actually the ones, each of us, all of us around the world, that have the power to change this world. When those 1,000-year-old trees are getting tingles, when those 1,000-year-old trees said humanity, changes so dramatically in the next 1,000 years, and why Gaia said in the next by spring next year the whole world changes. It's not because of those guys. it's because of us.
Yeah. And
The
also placing in that energy, you can create more and more well-being.
Yeah.
It's like a snowball.
Yes, absolutely. Um, and with one, I must admit, you asked one of your first questions you asked about hits, and I must admit, I have a pretty bad memory, so I don't
Me
often think
too.
back
Me
to what
too.
I predicted. I did manage to get within a few days his recent health scare that, wasn't a health scare, when he
Yeah.
went out for a few days, which was a prediction of I think I called it a brain aneurysm. I had to look that up afterwards. Like, what even is that?
Or he had a MIA, myocardial infarction, something with the brain.
Yeah,
If he actually had an aneurysm, he would have had his skull cut open and
yeah,
all that blood sucked out.
yeah.
But what did you get?
That's what I was told. Was that it was I think it was about a month before that there was an aneurysm. Um, so the what was really fascinating, like, why is he been to the UK, right? What's he doing here? And so I asked that question, and
Yeah.
it was really fascinating. So the answer I got was from Mother Gaia, and I was like, oh, why are you interested in him? And she said, so his role, his job description, if you like, his real soul job description is of purging and destruction, right? That is, if that's not
Absolutely
if
true.
that's not news to people, um, that's what it is, and it sometimes it feels like a forest fire, right? No one really wants a forest fire, but when it happens, there are some benefits to the destruction, but
Yeah.
no one actually consciously wants it in the moment. And the visit to the UK, and there was a lot of visits to royalty, which is like, I mean, without being dismissive of the royalty of this country, who cares? It's like, why? That's lovely. Like, why would you visit them? And Mother Gaia said, it's because the deal he made, and she described it as a deal with the devil, right? Said, be careful of who you make deals with. The sole deal he had made in this lifetime was create a whole load of disruption, in his own will, if you like. It's a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction, but there would always be a period of time at the end of it where he'd get to enjoy some time on Earth, still alive, still in, relative happy health and happiness. But since his recent health scare, that had changed. That it was basically just going to go, no, 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 you're basically just going to work, and then that's it. So you're just going to be destroy, 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 stop.
Doing ugly things to try to hurt people,
Yeah. And
demanding that people be arrested, Letitia James and Comey, and they're just making stuff up.
yeah. And it was very much a message of that he feels at a soul level the deal's been broken. And you heard him say a lot of things about the UK and how he on his way out, like that he really doesn't like our prime minister, and it's just like almost like I did a deal that didn't go well. I'm out of here. Like I'm done with this.
He even
And
said, I'll probably never come back. He told all of them. That's
yeah,
because he's going out feet first.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, um,
He's not gonna run for the third term. He's not gonna even last this term.
yeah.
That
And
I felt that years ago.
you
And
feel
I
it,
was
right?
shocked he didn't go the first time he didn't go. But
Mhm.
they've been showing me more and more that he's just under so much stress, his body can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, to your point about the kind of this escalation of victimization of individuals is it's that it feels like the kind of rock band that are trashing the hotel room, on the way out. It's like, well, screw you guys, and just just all the gloves are off, and it's just chaos. And it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, like it just escalates, and so it just creates more problems for him. Um,
And even the people that kiss the ring, although a lot of them are afraid of him.
Mhm.
Like that Nancy May, she loves going home, turning on YouTube and watching innocent families getting shoved into vans with ice. She thinks that's lovely.
Yeah, that is. And you see them trying to do it in the UK as well, right?
Really?
There's this, you describe it as the it the whole purpose of immigration, right? And we're really a planet of immigrants, right? So we're
Right.
all we've always been moving around all the time, and the UK is no exception. And yet there's this intense, and I describe it as intense because the UK always feels so small, and everything seems so orchestrated. There's intense, media coverage of people coming on boats, and the numbers ever increasing of immigrants, and immigrant hotels, and now riots outside hotels. And I just heard today, um, immigrants getting taxis instead of local buses, and I was thinking, why are we calling these people immigrants? Like they're people. Like, can we just
Oh,
call people
God,
people?
Jesus could
And
not have said they're nobodies.
yeah,
We're all humans, and you cannot disrespect humans unless you get hit back hard.
yeah,
You'll always get a taste of something. Here in America, they're mother superiors. You got
mhm,
these Karens calling foul names and even telling someone like me, but my skin's not brown, but my cousins,
mhm.
why don't you go back to your country? Well, we're Native American. This is our country.
Yeah. If anything, vice versa.
But when
Exactly.
when you start thinking that you're all that in a cup of tea, by the way, all in the name of Christian,
Yeah,
all in
yeah,
the name of God, because they're good white people,
mm,
it will fall on them a thousandfold. So I like the fact that the ship's coming around for the awakening. And there's awakening happening now because a lot of people don't trust Trump like they used to.
that's right.
They
Yeah,
thought for sure he was going to release those files, and when they reneged, a lot of people turned on him.
yeah, yeah. I agree. And if you think about where we're going in the next 1,000 years, and it's not even 1,000 years, it's just a few months to spring next year, the world changing. What's happening is that as our hearts open, we realize that, like, do we really need all these things? Do we
Yeah,
really need, like, what? And this is a question for each of us in our lives. I didn't need a six-bedroom house with a family of four. I didn't need a car and a motorhome. Sold the car. I didn't need a holiday house that I used to let out as a business. I just let it go. And just my wife was saying to me yesterday, isn't it amazing to just have one vehicle in the driveway? And it's like, I know, it's like it's liberating. And the more we let go of, it's not about just getting poor fast, right? It's about letting go of the things that own you in your life.
yeah,
And when we release more of these things, suddenly we have more time and energy, including, decluttering your cupboards, your closets, your garages, donate things to charity, get rid of the things you just don't need in your life. And it helps you bring your conscious awareness to everything you consume, right? Food, drink, water, buying stuff on Amazon and other online retailers, in person, wherever you buy stuff. And that was a huge part of my awakening, and it's also what I teach in my higher self foundational course. Is this, when we build the foundations of a happy, healthy life, an awakened heart, an open heart, we're much more conscious in every single present moment, and we don't just assume, for example, that governments are a great idea all by themselves, right? We've evolved these systems and ideals. Like, what do we really need from them? What do we individually need to take accountability for more of, and what do we need to figure out how we coordinate together as a human race? And there's not a simple answer, but there's definitely change. There's first of all shake up and some destruction needed, and then there's this kind of evolution, and this is what the spring is about, right? Just as I love that it's a spring of humanity in spring, which is that we shift with an open heart coming out of winter, saying, you know what, we've seen some pretty dark stuff,
exactly.
and to those points of threats of war, absolutely, there already, we know there's already been ET intervention. We've known this for decades, right? That they just keep intervening every time someone tries
Yeah,
to press
like
the button.
in the
Um,
60s,
That's
American military would shoot at them, you
and
know.
and they'd shut down their nuclear silos, and then they
Oh, that
panic
was
and
a
go,
beautiful thing.
"Oh, that's incredible!
And
How do you guys
men
do
in black and everything was top notch. And I don't know if it was ET that said this to me. This was just not too long ago. I
that?"
felt it was like a Christ energy more so. And it
Mm.
said, just tell everyone they can talk to us.
Yeah,
Just open your heart and your mind, not verbally. You don't have to verbally. Just start talking to us.
yeah,
Tell us what you're dreaming of. Tell us if you need help, and we
yeah,
will help you.
absolutely.
They want
Uh,
to help.
yeah, they absolutely do. That's why they're here, right?
Instead, I
They're
ate a bologna sandwich and a large Coke, and there was a bologna sandwich. No, I'm just kidding.
um, my other hobby that I've started in the last few months is sky watching and
Oh,
talking with extraterrestrials psychically. So as they appear in ships
are
and
you
film
like
them, and then
Beecham?
sorry,
Are you doing like Beecham, the guy that can call the ships in?
yeah, like exactly like that, yeah. And I was asking my Mantis guide Marita, she's part of the Galactic Federation. I was asking her, how does this all work? Like, how does contact, disclosure, how does it all work? And she said, because I'd heard this theme for a while, for months now, that it's first of all, it's all of us directly, right? It's not, we don't need to wait for some news announcement. It's it's past, right? That they've taken too long. Like they're like, don't tell anyone, right? And so world leaders, governments, and very dark organizations that have tried to hide this from us, that moment's past. The ETs are like, we're done with you guys because you're not sharing truth. And when you don't share truth, that's lies. And when you override free will of other humans, that's also not on. And so when we ask for help and we look to our skies and say, hello, is there anyone there?
Yeah,
It's literally how you do it, right? There's not like a kind of special magic formula. And I have tried some of those things. Um, the way that my mantis guy described it is, have you ever tried to contact like a wild bird or rabbit or
yeah.
like,
Talk
you
to
know,
them mentally.
yeah. And or maybe you're trying to, offer it some seeds and get it to come into like a little your bird table or your whatever you're trying to do for something that's wild. My mantis guide said that's how it works with ETs. She says we're pretty wild to you humans, and we have this very kind of cautious and gentle in interaction with you because if we come in all at once, and this is to each of us individually, it's quite overwhelming, right? Their energy they're very high vibration, so that alone is a big
It'd be hard
step.
to handle.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a moment. And then also they're constantly watching our hearts to see, is John's asking the stars and these I'm filming. I bought this really expensive night vision camera that can see full spectrum. So you
Was
can
it
see
over $3,000?
it was £1,000. So
Yeah.
it's not actually a
Yes.
thousand.
No, the goggles are used pair. It's like $3,000.
Wow. Yeah, it's like that. It's actually for
Military grade, right?
right, yeah. Yeah, it's the Psionics Aurora Pro, not sponsored by that manufacturer. Um, so that experience is it's really simple. Whenever you see something, flash of light, remember not all ET craft move. Sometimes they're still in the sky.
Yeah.
Uh, Often they're moving around and interacting. Talk to them, say hello.
Oh, we did. When I went out there, we was a group of people and we had those little green lights
Oh yeah.
and we would talk to a light and it
Yeah.
would burst open. It would
Hey,
like flash and then it went back and we were all thrilled.
that's so cool. Um, and yeah, I've been experiencing a lot of like similar experiences like that, and they'll change direction. Ask them, say, show me a sign, show me you're real, show me you're extraterrestrial. And the most important thing, just as we did there, is celebrate with gratitude. Um, there's something flying around me.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is that? This is an airtight studio, which is why I only stay in for about an hour or two. But the gratitude, the feeling of gratitude you have when you interact, that's what they're looking for because it's like a 500 hertz or so frequency emotion compared to shame at about 50 hertz. So when you're up and open with your heart and you're in gratitude, say, thank you, that's beautiful, thank you. I saw
They
you,
like that. That gratitude helps a lot.
and they'll come back, right? Just like our spirit guides are like, I get it. He's not too scared for this. He's ready. He'll and they'll come back.
I keep asking for help for this nation. I keep asking, please help people. People, the children dying in Gaza, help us, but I know they can't they're not allowed to intercede.
That's right, yeah. And you're right that it's still really helpful for us to feel love and compassion and to pray for each other and also to encourage others, right?
But I
You,
heard
you
ETs aren't as emotional as us. That's why they're attracted to us. They're not they're not intertwined like us. They're different. They're not as emotional.
Yeah, they're often their frequency ranges. So, and when I keep saying frequency range, like their emotional range is much smaller. So they're like, for instance, I'm just asking my mantis guide. She's primarily fifth dimensional, and that is to us that would be if you met someone that was fifth dimensional frequency. It's like you're so happy all the time, right? But I never catch her in a sad moment. She's never angry. She's never down in fear. She's never down in shame and she can't reach that low. If you ever wonder why it's hard to talk to spirit guides, it's because they're up in this kind of little layer of of happiness and joy and unity, and we're down in like, why did I come back to Earth? I don't want to come back type feelings. And yeah, that's so true. That's also why there's such fascination with us, right?
Yeah,
We had this ability to we have a very broad range of emotions, lovers or otherwise.
yeah, yeah. Dang, this is so interesting, John.
Oh, it's so exciting. These are incredible,
Oh my
incredible.
God. I'm so sorry it took so long to get you back online because my peoples will be real happy to. Now, did you have some openings for readings?
Yes, I do. Yes. So yeah, I'm taking bookings for my quantum psychic healing session. I also have an evolved version of that, which is the quantum psychic predictions service as well. So they're available from it's around mid-December onwards. You just go to my website, jonbinnie.com, and there's a one-click booking button there. Um, I'm also on YouTube Mondays and Thursdays live for 2 hours, taking people's readings, clearings, healings, predictions. It's free of charge.
Mondays and what?
Mondays and Thursdays at let me get the times right. At 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. UK time. So that includes tomorrow.
Okay, and it's on John Binnie
That's right. Yeah,
YouTube.
on YouTube. That's right. Yeah, Jon Binnie YouTube.
I'll have to look up my schedule, see if I can come on there and say hi.
Yeah, we should get you on the show sometimes. It'd be
Well,
a lot of.
listen, let's do this. I've got a gig I'm doing in Laguna Hills the first of this next month. And then let's get together afterwards. When we come off this, I'll give you some dates.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
you schedule me to be on your show.
It's a deal. I'd love that so much.
And any gossip you get, be sure to write it down.
Oh, yes. Absolutely will do.
Well, thank you so much. I would keep going, but I got it. Everything got pushed because I had this appointment, but I'm going to be with Andre.
Oh, how exciting.
He's
That's
so
lovely.
cool.
I love him.
Thank you for watching my show too. And I'm sorry I wasn't a good friend and watching your show. I hardly get to watch anybody's show lately.
Well, you know what? It gave me lots of space to receive a huge amount. So thank you. Everything in divine timing.
Yes. And you got pretty busy after the first time you were on my show.
Yeah, you got me busy for months. So thank you for that wonderful
Thank
gift.
you. And say hi to your family for me too.
I will do. Thank you so much,
And
Linda.
could you tell your ET
Mhm.
that Linda says, hey?
Yes, I will do. Oh, she is waving just now, but she doesn't have hands. She's got like little
Oh,
tinsel.
oh, also, that whole big deal that everybody was going to go straight up to heaven. That was so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Well,
so funny.
And what I love is there's something in the energy of it of awakening, right? Of there's something about when our hearts open. I've well, compared to 2 years ago, working
Yeah,
full time in London, I
we're
literally
totally different. I try to tell people that too. Since my awakening, thanks to breast cancer,
Mhm.
I'm not the same person.
That's incredible. Yeah, your journey is inspirational.
Although today I went to the market, uh, a very nice market, and when I was in there, all kinds of protesters were at the butcher's section,
Mm.
and they all had pictures of turkeys. I
Oh
couldn't
wow.
tell they just looked like turkeys. They weren't gross or anything.
Mm.
And they're screaming about the mistreatment of the turkeys. And the butchers were having to stand back, the staff was having to stand back, and they were, well, and I thought the cops would show up any minute.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
all I could do was sit there and watch them while I was eating my turkey sandwich. It was,
Oh my God. How did I know that was coming?
I took film of it. I swear to God. I
Wow.
don't know. I mean, I'm sure that that's good that they want these young, but I need more detail because they were just screaming with pictures that made no sense to me. It'd be different if you were showing dead turkeys that were all crushed together. It was just pictures of a turkey's face like they were posing.
Maybe a little QR code so you could like, even
Yeah,
if you
just get more
could.
details about what you guys represent. Yeah, but
Right.
uh, they were saying, stand for the turkeys, something, and they were yelling and screaming. And I told the lady that one of the workers, I said, boys, they're making it difficult for me to enjoy my turkey sandwich.
Wow. Oh, just send them to the UK. We don't really like turkey.
Okay. So anyway, okay, sweetie. Well, we'll get those dates.
Thank you so much.
JonBinnie.com.
Yep.
And I'm going to be on with Andre at 4. So what I'll do is run and grab my date book and give you a date. But
Yeah.
can you hold on?
Yes, I can hold
Okay.
on.
Okay, you guys. Love you all. Cheers.